This sounds far better than a monitor this size has any right to. Way back in 2016, IK Multimedia released the iLoud Micro Monitor, a tiny wee studio reference monitor that offered surprisingly excellent performance for its size. They've just released an updated version, the iLoud Micro Monitor Pro, with a new design, new features, but with the same aim: accurate frequency response in a small and portable package. Quick disclaimer here, IK Multimedia have sent me a pair of these new Micro Monitor Pros for this review, but this isn't a sponsored video. They've had no say in the content of this video, and they're seeing it for the first time at the same time you are. As I said, these are the follow-up to IK Multimedia's hugely popular iLoud Micro Monitors, which were released back in 2016. The iLoud Micro Monitor Pros boast custom speaker drivers, improved power efficiency and SPL, higher onboard processing power, and improved DSP over the previous model. These new models also include ARC calibration, plus IK's X Monitor software is now integrated into the workflow. More on how that works a bit later on. In the iLoud Micro Monitor Pro's box, you'll find the speaker itself, a USB-A to USB-C cable for attaching the monitors to your Mac or PC, a power cable, an ARC MEMS microphone and microphone clip to attach it to a microphone stand, and some registration documentation. The other box contains exactly the same things, excluding the ARC microphone. On the front of the Micro Monitor Pro are a 1-inch tweeter, a 3-inch woofer, and a bass reflex port. And on the bottom you'll find a tiltable rubber stand that you can actually reposition depending on what angle you'd like the speaker to sit at. On the back of the iLoud Micro Monitor Pros, there are 4 speaker control buttons that allow you to do things like filter out frequencies below a certain point or add high or low pass shelves. There's a volume knob here that's actually notched at 0 dB, which is really handy for knowing where the knob is set to without having to turn the whole speaker around once you have it set up. There's a balanced XLR input here, which allows you to connect to an audio interface or mixer. This is also where you'll connect the ARC microphone during calibration. Below that is an RCA input and a mains output. There is a USB-C port here to connect the speaker to your Mac or PC using the included cable, and below that you'll find the speaker's power button. What you won't find is a Bluetooth button, as Bluetooth functionality has been removed from these new models in favour of more hardwired connection options. The build quality here feels really good. Despite their size, there is a good amount of heft to these Micro Monitor Pros, and all the buttons and connections are rock solid. If you just want to pick up a pair of these and attach them to an audio interface and get going, or maybe throw them in a backpack and use them as a portable option if you're recording on the go with something like an iPad, you absolutely can. They sound really good straight out of the box. Installing IK Multimedia's X Monitor software on your Mac or PC and connecting the iLoud Micro Monitor Pros via their included cables gives you access to a whole lot more functionality though. For example, at the click of a button you can emulate the frequency and phase response of a variety of other speaker systems like other reference studio monitors, hi-fi speakers and other multimedia devices. This lets you audition how well your mix translates on different systems. You can also select from 15 different contour presets that serve as a good starting point for you as they refer to the most common studio monitor placement scenarios. The standout feature here, and probably the best thing that IK have added to these new Micro Monitor models, involves the included ARC microphone. Now, the whole idea of calibrating your monitors may seem a little daunting at first, but with the X Monitor software, IK Multimedia have actually made it really straightforward. To set this up, first make sure that the monitors are attached to your computer with the included USB cables. Then attach the ARC microphone to the first iLoud Micro Monitor Pro using an XLR cable to the input on the back. Next, you want to properly position the microphone's height. Then position the microphone at each capture point as shown inside the X Monitor software, running the room analyzer each time until the calibration is complete. Duplicate the process for your other iLoud monitor and you'll be left with a custom EQ profile specific to your room. Now, that might not sound that impressive through my incredibly unscientific audio capture technique there, but in this room it has made a massive difference to how these monitors sound. Mixing in general with the iLoud Micro Monitor Pros is a really good experience. The stereo separation and clarity are superb, and the highs and mids are exceptional, especially after running that calibration. You're probably wondering what the bass is like. Do these tiny studio monitors match the bass response of something a lot bigger, like this? No, of course not, but it's far from terrible. If you're working with a lot of sub-bass frequencies, however, you may want to think about a separate subwoofer if you plan on these being your main mixing monitors. For a lot of other musical genres and styles though, the Micro Monitor Pro's range of 50Hz to 20kHz will be absolutely fine for you. The range of responses in the X Monitor software's voices menu were also really helpful for mixing, saving me the trouble of manually checking how mixes sound on things like TVs and consumer-grade hi-fi speakers. If you make your own music at home in a smaller room like a bedroom or a manky old broom cupboard, or if you're on the road a lot and need sonically accurate speakers that are incredibly portable, then you should absolutely consider a pair of these. Not only do they sound better than any studio monitor of this size has any right to, straight out of the box, the ability to accurately calibrate them to your specific room has the potential to actually make your music sound better. Those working in larger rooms or professional studios could absolutely make use of these too, but probably more as reference monitors as opposed to an all-in-one mixing solution. With all that said though, what IK Multimedia have managed to pull off here is just quite astonishing really. These sound absolutely incredible considering the size of them. They're absolutely tiny. Factor in their portability and their built-in ARC room calibration, and you're left with what is probably the most versatile studio monitors available to home recording musicians. Let me know what you think about the IK Multimedia iLoud Micro Monitor Pros down in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, give that like button a good hard slap on the way past. I really appreciate it, and it helps more people see this video. And if you like the look of these but want something a bit bigger with a bit more oomph to them, well, IK Multimedia have you covered there too. For more information on that, watch this next.